are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, we've got some more sad news on this podcast. A listener who had become a friend, I found out just today that he passed away December 15. Ryan Shook, good man. He'd been listening from the fucking very beginning. Messaging pretty regularly for about 4 years. I did a podcast ages ago, I think when I was living in India during COVID. The Law Dog podcast. That was fun. So I got to know those two Texas dudes. That was one of the reasons I was going to stop by Texas while I was in the States recently to go fucking meet Jace and Shooky. But I hadn't heard from Shooky in a while, and Jace just sent me a message saying he had heard Shooky was in hospital during December for a couple of weeks, and then he found out that the day after he got out of hospital, he passed away. I'm not too sure what it was over, but man, he was battling. He was battling the fucking demons, that's for sure. His vice was the heroin, and he just couldn't seem to fucking knock it on the head. He went for a long period there. I think it was like over a year or something like that. And he was clean. He'd been in rehab and all that sort of stuff. He fucking had a missus. He was married. He had a kid fucking recently, a 2-year-old kid, which is the saddest thing in the fucking world. He had a good job, well educated, finished off his MBA, I think, earlier this year. You wouldn't have picked it looking at him. Fucking good looking, just straight up shiny dude. But had the demon in there deep. I remember this is probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago maybe. He'd been clean for a bunch of time, and then he sent us a message saying the dude he normally gets his sleeping pills from on the dark web accidentally, and I'll put those in air quotes, accidentally sent him 4 grams of crack. And so he was telling us that he'd never tried crack before, and so he might just give it a little bit of a try to complete the drug circle. Like after smoking crack, then he'd have done all the drugs. So he tried that, and in my head, I was like, that's probably not the best idea. I'm not too sure I would be doing that. But he did it, and nothing after that seemed that good. He got back on the heroin at some point. He said he ended up doing Fent as well. And then what did he do? He went back to rehab. The missus left him, took all the money, locked him out of the house, took the kid. And I guess it was just spiral, get clean, relapse. But last time I spoke to him, he was all good. He sounded great. He was pretty positive about life. And yeah, I guess you only get so many fucking chances. Especially when you're fucking with heroin and drugs and shit like that. You don't fucking get that many opportunities to fucking quit. It's actually fucking devastating. He was a great fucking dude. Young kid. I don't know how he passed away. But no matter how he passed away, too fucking young. So I fucking remember he sent me something, but I couldn't exactly remember what. So I fucking scoured through my emails and everything, and I finally found what he had sent to me. It was a comment underneath my blog, and the blog was, "You are not exempt from alcoholism." And so Shooky wrote a comment underneath that particular blog, and I'll read it out now. "I'm a white picket fence heroin addict. You know my story, but for those who don't, I went to a private all-boys high school. Trust me, there were just as many addicts and alcoholics. The families had access to more resources and bigger houses so they could fly under the radar. I went on to a prestigious private university in the States, high-paying white-collar job, prestigious graduate school, wife and baby. All the while, I became a junkie. I had bad psychiatrists and figured out the dark web. I never did drugs with other people in the end and didn't have your typical dealer. In brackets, doctors and mailmen were my dealers. So I've seen both sides of the coin. I have bought smack from homeless people and MS-13 gang members in a pinch. An addict is an addict is an addict. No race, socioeconomic class, gender, or who you fuck matters. Well, Shooky, fucking... it's just a fucking tragedy, really. Rest in peace, mate. The rest of ya, let that be a fucking warning. You only get so many fucking opportunities. Sort your shit out so I don't have to do a fucking episode about you. Anyway, that'll do it for today, and I'll see you the fuck later.